Hey BC, how's it going? I thought I'd do a vinyl finds update. I haven't done one for a couple of months and I've got a stack of vinyl to show to you perfectly. So I'll show some new stuff first of all, then I'll show the used stuff. So this is what I'm listening to. I picked this up a couple of weeks ago. This is only the second time I spun this actually. It's I suppose in effect it's a modern Italian library record. I heard this track that's playing at the moment actually about 9 months ago. It came out on a 12-inch. The track's called Niagara. Over here in the UK, the 12-inch was the best part of 20 quid, I think. So I didn't pick it up at the time, but basically an album's now come out. This track's on it, 12 tracks, double vinyl, and it's about the same sort of price as what that 12 was originally. So I picked it up, but yeah, really nice listen. I say double vinyl, both play at 45, but yeah, definitely recommend it. The artist is called Caloocan. Okay, right, okay. This record turned up yesterday in the post. I pre-ordered it from Piccadilly Records. The artist is Minamai Deutsch. It's a Jap rock band, so Japanese artist. If you like Can or Noi, yeah, you'll definitely like this. This is, I suppose, in effect, it's crowd rocking style. It's got that motor beat. I think the press is limited to 300, 350, something like that. I think 150 of which are coloured vinyl, the other 200 are black vinyl. This is a black vinyl copy. But yeah, cracking album. I played this through this morning, so I definitely recommend it if that's your sort of thing. Right, okay. This is the latest Primal Scream album, Cosmosis. I really like Primal Scream. I don't always pick up their records. I think the last couple have been a little bit patchy, but certainly all of their 90s records are fantastic. You know, Screamadelica, Give Out, Don't Give Up, Vanishing Point, Exterminator. Yeah, all fantastic records. The reason why I picked this up, I didn't pick it up initially when it came out, but I heard Bobby Gillespie being interviewed on the radio, and he was basically just explaining that when they went into the studio, they went in with the intention of making every track on the album a single. So I thought, well, you know, shamelessly commercial, so I'll give it a go. And it's exactly what he said. You know, every track's catchy, every track has got that hook. Doesn't outstay welcome. I think it's 10 tracks. Yeah, they've done exactly what they set out to do. Yeah, really nice record. Okay. Now this is the 5th album from Wild Beasts, Boy King. I don't have all their records. I think I've got a couple of the other records that they've done. I'm missing a couple. This is the indie store version of it. It comes with an additional 7-inch. For those of you who don't know Wild Beasts, they're an indie band. 2 male vocalists, both singing falsetto. This album is a little bit more electronic than the others. Actually, when I first heard this, part of it sounded a little bit Muse-like, but yeah, a nice record. The first track on here, Big Cat, is the big single off it, which has got quite a lot of airplay, which is a great tune. But yeah, I definitely recommend this, and I recommend checking out a couple of their other albums. Particularly, I think there's one called the second album's called Two Dancers, which is a lovely record. But yeah, so Wild Beast. Okay, some reissues. Manuel Gotchting, E2 to E4. I've had this on CD for years, never on vinyl. I've never seen an original vinyl copy of it, so I pre-ordered the reissue. It's a lovely pressing, really nicely done. Many of you will know this album. It's ambient, almost, I suppose, proto dance record, I suppose. But it's actually, this album is probably more suited to listen to on CDs because it's one continuous piece. You have to flip it over, but nice to have on vinyl. But I say, lovely pressing. Okay, an album that I've been after for years. This was repressed a couple of months ago. Lee Moses, Time and Place. Lee Moses was a guitarist. This came out in '71. It's just a great soul album. Tracks now like California Dreaming, Hey Joe. Prior to this, he'd put out several 45s, Jazzman Records have reissued a couple of those 45s in recent years, which are very nice. If you soon pick it up, they become quite collectible. But yeah, this album, as I say, I think this is the first time it's been officially repressed. I was offered a copy of this at a record fair, an original copy at the beginning of the year, which was completely out of my price range. So I was pleased that it's come out on as a reissue. Yeah, the label is Maple Records, which I don't know anything about, but yeah, it's nicely done. A great album. Right, okay. Now, I know a lot of people in VC say that they don't like reissues. This is a record called Have You Been Good to Yourself by Johnny Frierson. Now, Johnny Frierson, I think, was a bit part player at Stax. He did backing vocals on various sessions. That was about it, really. I don't think his career ever really got going. These recordings were released on a cassette. I think they probably sold at petrol stations in and around Memphis in the early 90s, I believe. It's just basically him and a guitar. From what I understand, the bump within the liner notes explained that I think he's a Vietnam vet, you know, various troubles, and recorded these obviously quite religious songs, just him on the guitar. It's quite lo-fi recordings, but it's a stunning album. It's absolutely beautiful. Yeah, and what I'm saying about reissues, you know, if this is out on Light in the Attic, if they hadn't discovered this music and put it out, this is something that I certainly would never have heard. So that's where, you know, these reissue labels such as Light in the Attic, Finders Keepers or Numero, it's what they do so well. And it's really nicely done as well, really nicely packaged. But yeah, a stunning album. Anybody that likes that soul gospel type thing, Bill Withers, that sort of ilk, yeah, I'd definitely recommend this. Okay, some used records. Depeche Mode Violator. I've had this on CD for years. I think I originally bought it on tape back in 1990. 9 tracks. It's definitely their best album. One of my favourite albums, certainly been my top 10 albums of all time. Never owned it on vinyl, so nice original copy of it on mute. Okay, a couple of reggae finds. Toots and the Maytals, Funky Kingston. When I was first getting into reggae, it took me ages to get into it because I didn't really know where to start. There's so many genres within the genre itself. So many releases, some official, some unofficial. And I think that puts a lot of people off. Now, I think if anybody's just going to own a handful of reggae albums, you know, 4 or 5 reggae albums, I'd suggest that this be one of them. Toots and the Maytals. It's a wonderful record, I think from '73. I'm assuming this is on Ireland. Yeah, produced by Chris Blackwell, of course. I've owned these tracks on various compilations previously, but I've never actually had this album, so I was chuffed to find this at a record fair. I say original copy on UK Ireland, great condition. Okay, one other reggae find, Freedom Street by Ken Boothe. I've got several Ken Boothe albums from this sort of period. This came out in '76. He had a couple of massive hits in the UK in '74. Everything I Own and Crying Over You, and the album that they came off was a big album over here as well. But this is a couple of years after that. I was familiar with the title track, Freedom Street. I think it was on the 3rd volume of the Tighten Up series, but I didn't know anything else on this album. And it's a cracking album. Original UK Trojan, and a great cover. Look at that cover. Yeah, cool. Right, okay, a few more. The Long Riders. This is an EP I think came out in '87, '88 of recordings from '83, '84. The Long Riders were, I suppose, an alt country band before alt country became a thing, you know. So it's that sort of jangly pop music with one eye over its shoulder, looking at towards the birds, that sort of thing. You can tell just looking at the cover. I love all their records from the '80s. Great bands, you know. This is, I think, it's only got 6 tracks on it. So it's an EP. Definitely worth picking up. It's only cheap, but labels this one. Zippo Records. Yeah, cool, nice record. Right, okay, couple more. Leonard Cohen, 10 New Songs. This is from 2000, 2001, something like that. I'd never heard this album before. For some reason, I've seen it several times. I've got a number of his albums, but I'd always avoided this one. I don't know whether it was basically some of the tracks are have a female vocal on it as well, sort of a harmony alongside his. I think I'd always been put off by that, to be perfectly honest, but I picked this up a couple of weeks ago, give it a spin, and the majority it's a lovely album. There's a couple of tracks which don't quite work, but I say the majority of it is excellent. So yeah, pleased to pick that up eventually. Leonard Cohen. Okay, I'm going to keep this brief. I'll have to do another video. John Barry, String Beat. This is from, I think, 63. No, so 61. This was his first official release in the US. Anything with John Barry's name on is worth picking up. Wonderful composer, and all of the, as I say, this is a mixture of original compositions and adaptations of traditional songs, I suppose. Sung stuff like It Doesn't Matter Anymore, the Paul Anka song, Spanish Harlem, stuff like that. But yeah, a really nice record. His stuff's always interesting. His scores are always interesting. So definitely recommend that, and pleased to pick that up. Right, I have to do another one in a week or two. Cheers.